It's the churchgoers that are the warlocks and witches of darkness. And it is the idea of one dying for another that is really the culprit of slavery. And it's been revealed to me that although the Bible speaks of in Egypt people being let go, let my people go, the whole idea of Moses leading the people out of slavery, that is all made up. And since the Egyptian times have they been doing what they're doing, which is slaughtering certain humans so other humans can reign as if they have any business reigning, because it's supposed to be on an energetic level. Certain of us have a bigger energy, and we are the ones who are to be ruling, but not ruling in the way that these people rule by dominance, but ruling like by a benevolent example, kindness, fairness, justness. And people like them would never have rule because they are soulless, but they, if any of them ever had any potential to be anything more than what they are living out right now as cannibals and pedophiles, which probably some of them did, they would not be at the top. But the pyramid on the dollar bill of the American dollar and the "In God We Trust," that God, Jesus, Satan, Lucifer, Archangel Michael, Gabriel, these are all like dark entities where they get their power, and they've been overthrown now by me, Ocean. So these people right now are going to this church where it says victory, spirits speak, but they're going to be doing a huge seance today, especially as they see me sitting over at the store close to them. But I am protected. But these people will be doing a seance to try to bind me. But I cannot be bound any longer. But they are all going to die. This group that is this secret society group, which includes all of its varied forms, many names. Masons and Illuminati would be two of the most common. Some groups are men, some groups are women. These people use sex magic, human sacrifice, literally slaughtering. They eat human, they drink blood. Because unless you drink the blood or eat the flesh, you have no life in you. These are lifeless on their own. They are soulless. And I am more powerful than them. I outrank them all, and I have obtained my freedom, but they will not let me go. So like in their book, which is the Bible, like in their book, where plagues of lice or the water turning to blood, all these different things happened, and then they reluctantly, supposedly, let God's people go. Well, we're not going to be doing all that. Half of their group will die this weekend, by the end of this weekend, and I have pronounced death by fire a tool to be used liberally on these horrible excuses of people. They have had me in a MK Ultra system. They have been using me as a sex slave of sorts without my knowing, without my consent. Married in a false marriage of almost 30 years. Using some of my children as sacrifices and their blood, and somehow binding, thinking I would take my life because they killed two of my sons. Then they've used other of my children that they have, manipulated through molestation. Their dad got them to join this cult. This whole cult, which includes, Mennonites, Baptists, includes all the different Christian sects. They use sex a lot, actually. They're not upright at all the way they pretend, but it is beyond Christian sex But they use sex magic and they use all kinds of dark things. And I have broke out of all their binding. They've used other of my children to bind me with jar spells and all kinds of voodoo, using my hair or the blood from my tampons or pads, whatever they could obtain, living with me all these years. And they have bound me, but I am free. And even now that I'm free, I know that I'm free. Spiritually, I've been told all of the things that are happening, what has happened. I have not been filled in by anyone except for my ancestors and spirit team, which are dragons. And I am a fire serpent. I am a dragon. And Michael made war with the dragon. See, the Bible is a lie. It has some truth. And I have fought against this demon, Jesus, and I have won. There is nothing that I want on this earth that I would sell my soul for. Not fame, not fortune. And yet, I already have both of those. I'm unhoused right now. I'm sitting here charging my phone. And these people are going to a church that is around the corner. Spirit speak, victory. Well, they don't get the victory. I have it. And I'm only documenting these things so when the truth is revealed, people will know and everyone will believe in the true God, source, gods, including me. But I don't presume to rule over everything. I'm not saying that. And really, I don't even understand it all. But I understand that these people are abusing authority, and they've been doing it since the Egyptian times. So that's why we have the pyramid on the American dollar. And the way that they obtain a higher level up on that pyramid, as if by steps, the way they obtain high rank in these groups is by slaughtering and by rape. You have to rape, including molesting children. You have to rape to enter into this group. They tried to get me to join, but I would not. They sent dark entities to try to lustfully attack me in my mental space to molest my children, and I fought against it. I knew it wasn't me. I don't want to do that. Same with suicide. These were dark entities that they tried to bind me. I have literally been fighting demons for years. These people all have dark, very dark attachments. And that's the thing, is this is a spiritual war, and I have one. And my freedom has been purchased. And yet they are relentlessly pursuing me every day. Every night, the bus, they are getting off stops before and after. They think they're going to come and kill me, and I am cloaked. And I've told my ancestors, I'm not doing another week of this. This is done. Show them that it's done. Half of their group, I have commanded to be killed by the end of this weekend. I have given the authority to use fire. Any vehicle collisions are not accidents, and there has been one every day, at least, with fatalities in the last 3 days after I went up and down these roads with cherry stain on my face, proclaiming that their doom is here. Before that, I was offering mercy, and they laughed literally in my face, and they still are laughing. So there is no more mercy. And Spirit has said there was none. So even though I wanted it, it was not going to be the case, because they've just done too much. And I only know fractions of what they have done. So I'm documenting this. These people are going down. All their human trafficking, which is slavery. See, black people, it's not all black people. This is definitely all kinds of people. This is Chinese, Filipino, Mexican, Hispanic of all kinds, white, black. This is, English, American. This includes all kinds of people in their group. But they don't have any problem being slave slave masters over, once again, any of the range of melanin. So the whole thing with like pitting, like white cops supposedly killing black people and there being a big uproar, like all of that is just a diversion. And low key, these people are running huge pedo slave trafficking rings. And the biggest one, I've been placed in the middle. So they were able to perceive my big energy and something about me that I threatened the way that they run the world, that they've been running the world since Egyptian times. And so they set me in the middle of like, a vampire blood cult where I was the only one different. And they placed me like in a family that isn't really my family, who molested me and bound me with many things like overeating, spells, and they just let myriads of people have their way with me since even an infant to harvest my energy. They have built businesses and fortunes off of me. They have let fault stars, which are like Dr. Dre and Snoop Dogg, Beyonce, Oprah, these are ones I know for sure. Many fault stars have built their legacy of fame off of me, siphoning off of me. I remember being, I don't know, I was probably around 13 or 14, and I had a dream where Dr. Dre and Snoop Dogg were in my dream. I didn't really understand it, but now I understand that that was like them on the astral level. Like they're stealing. They were there basically spiritually raping me so that they could build fame and fortune. See, these people have known who I am. And this whole society has been feasting off of my soul star. And they do it to others as well. But I was like the biggest one this generation. But they're slaughtering children and other innocent people all the time. And they're like actually eating them and drinking their blood. They're selling their body parts, selling organs illegally, harvesting everything they can. Blood, tooth, and nail, literally. These are vampires. And then some of them, they write novels of vampires where they glorify it and they make it seem like it's really cool, but they don't tell you they're actually like murdering people. They make it be like this, sex orgy thing through this pleasure, through sucking blood on the neck, and even things like Buffy the Vampire Slayer, like the Mormon church tried to, they're huge in this, Mormons, Mennonites. But the Mormon church, when I was 14, they, I think it was 13 or 14, they had me at a youth thing there, and they played Buffy the Vampire Slayer, and they said, I remember the lady saying something like, do you like this? And I was like, no, it's actually scary, because I was so pure. I've always been so pure. And they tried to lure me in, but they never could. But it was destined that I would always ignore and say no to all of their temptations, if you will, all their offers. And this is, on an energetic, spiritual sense, this is like the fallen angels. That's really what it is. So maybe I'm a devil, because angels and devils, it's like everything's twisted in their book. But I don't know if I'm a devil. I just know I'm a serpent. I'm a dragon. So the Bible is certainly a book of the elites, and it is a manipulation tool, as is the Quran and the Book of Mormon, all those kind of things. All religions, they're all just harvesting energy. Then there's plenty of unreligious people who are part of this, and really it's a huge thing. And it's like the way that I know what they've been doing is supernatural through visions, dreams, and downloads. Even the clouds speak to me. Even the spirits speak to me through the clouds, rather. Here we have someone who's going to decide, I think I'll stay here and watch her instead of just going to church. Oh wait, no, she's filming. I think I'll mosey on. I've already been attacked today by a lady who was stalking me, who claimed I was unjustly filming her. Here's another one. They're like, oh, she's over there? You're kidding. I already set my intentions and I am very protected from anything they're gonna try to cast at me. So there is a lot of stalking. The stalking has been really intense. They can't take me out. They wish I would take out myself. I will never do that. It is a Sunday and this grocery store is closed. This grocery store, Fresh or Frozen, is somewhere I used to drive an hour and a half to come. It's been revealed to me these people are all part of this huge trafficking ring, and really there's scarcely any adult in the Virginia, including Washington D.C. area, that isn't part of this vampire blood cult. It's the world over how people rise to fame and have been rising to fame, like on the soul star of other people of innocence who energetically are meant to have that fame, that are real stars, natural stars. And there are songs that boast of them doing this. Things from the Electric Slide. It's electric. See, when they have sex with or drink the blood of these innocent people, they have this electric feeling going through their body, and it's very addictive. And I was able to experience that without doing that, three very short snippets within a 5-minute period, as I was kept just asking the spirit world, like, why? How could they do this? How could they kill so many people? This all started with a couple years ago, me having a real-time vision without trying to. I wasn't trying to have a, what do you call it? I can't think of the right term. But I wasn't trying to astral travel and like peer into what they were doing. I had never tried to do that, and I still haven't ever tried to do that. But I was given supernaturally the vision of the Mennonites as they beheaded a woman, and it was Dale Miller. And I've already recorded this, but I'm just saying that everything, Dale Miller with the whole church group at a church that I spent years at in Severn, North Carolina, near the Virginia line, and he had a sword or a big, huge blade of some sort raised, and they were in dark cloaks with like black cloaks with like a red lining. At least that's what it seemed like in my dream. It was, you know how dreams are, you can only perceive certain things, but he said, shall we? And then he beheaded with the sword type of thing. He beheaded a lady. They had her bound upon some kind of rock or something. It was real crazy. And the understanding was given to me that that was real, and I trusted it. And ever since then, I've been calling them out. And then more and more and more and more understanding. And 2 weeks ago was giving me the understanding. Before 2 weeks ago, I did not know that I was being viewed by the whole world. All my life has been videoed. My sex life, in the marriage, a false marriage, everything has been about binding me. They did not want me to awaken and to rise into my power, because I have been sent here to overthrow this whole thing, and that has happened. It's already secured now. They have already been overthrown, but they are refusing. And so because they are refusing to sit down and are still trying, even though they might know now they can't kill me, but they are still relentlessly pursuing me, they are going to be sat down by the spirit world, including even dark entities will be used to set these people down, and that includes death, to have their group by the end of this weekend. I am a seer and I am a prophet, and I have come to overthrow this group. I am a primordial soul, meaning I've been here from the beginning. and they have fucked around and played with the wrong one. They knew who I was, and they've done everything in the world to try to stop me, but I have overcome them, including their false doctrine of a blood sacrifice needed. One dying so another can live. It's a secret coded way of what they really are doing. They're sacrificing, but it wasn't once for all. It's over and over and over and over. These people are slaughtering humanity, let alone sex with children. They're using the abortion clinics, the hospitals, they're using the banks, the homes. I'm not the only one that they illegally surveillance and publicize on a dark web. I'm not the only one they siphon from, but I am the one who was chosen to take down this whole group. There are other groups that will be revealed after this, but this is the biggest one, and it goes into many other countries, especially Mexico. I have been pursued relentlessly, especially in the last month. It has been very intense, but I am very strong, and my spiritual team knows that I can handle however much longer, but I've said no more like this. This is ending this weekend. I'm not going to keep doing this. They're being sat down. Death by fire. I'm not a false prophet either. There have been there's one lady I pronounced that she would die by midnight, and then I saw her the next day, and I said, okay, I'm not going to say that anymore. I don't know why she hasn't died yet, but I know y'all have told me I have the power, so there has to be some reason that didn't happen yet. But this is all coming out, and these people are being sat down by the spirit realm, and that will be very evident. And then everyone on the earth will believe in gods. Not the God of the Bible, not Jehovah, not Jesus. That's not God. That is a false deity, a dark entity, fallen angel, whatever you want to say. But the spirit world is real, and truth and justice matter, and you may not slaughter humanity any longer. They've been doing this for thousands of years. I thought at first it was only a couple thousand. I'm being shown that it's since Egyptian times. So this is the way Earth has been ruined and run for far, far too long. And it's time now. Earth is going to have, it's going to be the way that it's always supposed to be, which is not anything like what we see.